Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Tony Kabaka said he wants to be commissioner after Osagie Ize-Iyamu win election. Oshomole should be arrested for lying to Edo people. Captain Osa letter to Obaseki, the Edo State governor. This now the matter where our brother Lamti Oriahi want put mouth today for this video. So make I leave you now with the video. Make you for hear the things where you want to talk concerning these people. Enjoy the video.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to my very dear Edo people. And of course to everybody, depending on where you're watching from and where you are at this moment. This is Matters Arising with a Comrade. And we have quite some issues that we want to, talk about this morning. It's morning where I am, and of course, my name is Comrade Lamti Oriahi. For those who have followed me faithfully, we've always tried to, look at the issues as they are, in the Edo State polity. And within the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of development, and so many persons have called me, some have written me, asking questions, wanting to know more about issues and matters arising. And I have done my best to look at the field, try to investigate some of the issues that are brewing. And of course, try to, make some findings. And today I want to try to analyze the situation. Right now, some actors have come on board. They have become, very prominent within the space and all that. And we're going to talk about how they affect, the permutations, how, the things they are doing affect the situation on ground. First and foremost, for the followers of Obaseki who have expressed fear, at the situation as they unfold, let me assure you that as things stand, okay, there is no need to entertain fears because at the end of the day, some of the dust you see at this moment, they are just going to, wither naturally away. But having said that, let's look at what is on ground. A few days ago, Oshomole made what how would I call it? It made an entry into Benin, a loud entry into Benin. And, of course, as you would expect, his supporters, particularly those who who are allegiant to him and, of course, to the APC, thrust out in their numbers. And, he made some statements, and, of course, pledged his commitment to the election of Pastor Osagie Ize-Iyamu. That, when I listened to his speech, I was ashamed for him. And I was ashamed for the Edos who clapped, who in their numbers came on social media and began to say all sort of things. I was personally ashamed because at the end of the day, it boils down to one point. Have we really lacked integrity that much that we just embrace human beings who speak from every side of their mouth? Now, when I look at the allegations that this man came up with 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, against Pastor Osagie Ize-Iyamu, who then was his opponent, when I began to check some of his words, to the point that this man climbed the podium and called on God that God should bear him witness what he's saying, allegations, very difficult allegations. And today, this man has come out to say, I honestly, I can't place it, to be honest. I don't know if look, man, if you are watching me right now, if you are part of this program right now, please just share. We want this broadcast to go around. Because at the end of the day, in all of these, there must be some level of integrity. We are Edo people. I watched one Asian pastor preaching the other day, and the man said, "Those are like, they are like fowl. You throw corn at them, they just pick it and go back to their share." We cannot be described like that. Edos cannot be described like that. Oshomole cannot make Edos be like that. There should be some level of integrity. I give you a personal experience. Somebody, many of you know very well, who's a voice so it's a voice like myself on social media and all of that. He called me a few days ago, and he told me that, man, look, yes, the pendulum is swinging to the side of Osagie Ezeyamu, that he has been approached, and they said they are going to pay him, 2,000 pounds, 2,000 euro, he said, for him to switch allegiance to Osagie Ezeyamu, and that he's trying now to reach out to some of us so we can benefit from this, because all these politicians, when he finished speaking, the question I ask is, have we come down to that level? That have we come to the level where we think that nobody, everybody is got a prize, no Nigerian has got some integrity? I asked him the question because I was shocked. This is just some couple of days back. You understand what I'm saying now? I was shocked that, you just look at me that you feel that it is 2,000 euro that should be my issue right now. What I'm doing, I honestly do not have any personal relationship one-on-one with Obaseki. And I've said this over and over again. What I'm doing is not because I'm expecting any gratification from anybody, but because I know that everybody will not do what I'm doing. Everybody will not do what, some others are doing. But for those who don't do what we are doing, who want to, be updated, who want to know exactly what the space is, the undecided, we are trying to give them fact, the reason why they should make their decision. And this human being came up. I don't want to mention this for the moment. At some point, maybe I would. At the moment, I have not gotten to that conclusion where I should mention this person's name. And he was telling me that that they will give me 2,000 euro, so that I can switch allegiance and start, supporting Osagie Ezeyamu. The truth of the matter is this. I can never in my lifetime be like Oshomole. You understand? These are people who turned red into black and black into blue and blue into whatever color they wish. Who are you, Oshomole, to think that you can talk to Edo people 4 years ago and you turn around again to start, swallowing your vomit and asking Edo people to follow you, and some are actually clapping their hands after you? God forbid. God forbid. God forbid. As a matter of fact, I think that, the semblance of integrity that somebody like Ezeyamu should be having is all lost by the space they have given to Oshomole. It is shameful. It is preposterous, to say the least, that we still have people who gather and talk about Oshomole within the political space of Edo State at this time. I want to start giving you some, analysis of this situation, so that wherever you are, you must have reasons to be glorious to God that what is happening in Edo State right now is happening. Everybody must have reasons to be thankful that what is happening right now is happening, because Obaseki has given a different option to the entire political process. Otherwise, what they wanted was, they plan their stooge. The stooge, do their bidding. And the whole thing is got to do with, the collective patrimony of the Edo people. They want to remain in charge, so that they do and undo, nobody questions anybody. And that is exactly what has been the bane of our entire political process. That is exactly the same thing that they are planning. I will give you a lot of information on this program. As you are there, share, let it go around. I have a lot of classified information I'm going to give to you on this program today. A lot of classified information. Now, if you people recall, for many people who are following the political process, the very first person Oshomole approached to become governor of Edo State, to challenge Obaseki, was Captain Osa. I'm going to do as much as possible to respect Captain Osa in this broadcast. As much as possible. Not to cast aspersion on his person and his character. But I'm going to be very honest and truthful in my broadcast today. Please, if you are there, just keep sharing. Captain Osa, before you know, what's it called, Ize-Iyamu ever came into the picture, the first person Oshomole approached to come and unseat Governor Obaseki was Captain Osa. And it was public knowledge that Captain Osa, you know, refuted and said he does not want to mess himself with, you know, any of this process. It was in the papers. Shortly after that, you know, the rumor of Ize-Iyamu, you know, coming into APC, you know, started spreading. And some of us began to ask, you know, there is no smoke without fire. You know, why is this? Why is that? It was later the whole thing began to make some sense. And just within the last couple of days, in fact, the sense it started making a long time ago began to get some consolidation. Now, what happened was that by very classified, you know, arm of, you know, information, what happened was that Captain Osa rejected the offer. He didn't want to, you know, mess himself with direct politicking. And so suggested that if somebody like Ize-Iyamu can be brought on board, he will bankroll the process. And those people, I'm giving you a very authentic information from Grapevine. He will bankroll the process. Now, this information, I've got this information a long time ago, but I didn't have any evidence to be able to, you know, nail it on board. That if Ize-Iyamu can be brought, he will bankroll the process. Okay? And all of that. And then, Oshomole made a lot of advances, you know, towards, what's his name, Captain Osa. But Captain Osa didn't want to mess himself up directly with, you know, direct politicking and all of that. He's a businessman. Okay, he's a business mogul and all of that. He's a respected person in very many quarters in Edo State. Because again, many people, you know, see him as a philanthropist. But some of us, the level of his philanthropism, some of us, without trying to disrespect what he does, for some people, okay, of course, we equally know. We're going to talk about some of those things as time goes on. Now, he became a brain behind the projection of Ize-Iyamu, which, you know, in their own, you know, caucus meeting, they all bought into and all of that and began to strategize how to bring Ize-Iyamu on board. And so when the rumor started getting some, you know, gathering momentum and became thick, it became obvious at some point that Ize-Iyamu was going to declare for APC. All of this had been done. Even the whole business of, what's his name, the guys who had been there, the Odubu and all of that. At a point, it became obvious that it was a charade, that this whole thing is going to eventually rest on the shoulders of Pastor Ize-Iyamu. Now, while all of this has happened, some of us who are a bit inclined to following politics, you know, have not really bothered much about this, because at the end of the day, it's all politics, and people play the game, you know, to be in charge. Okay, but what bothers most of us is there is politics everywhere around the world, you know. But when you are politicking, okay, let your politics, you know, benefit the people you are leading. Let your politics be people oriented. Let your clamor to take over, you know, the mantle of governance be that which will benefit the overall populace, that will benefit the people. Now, what we know that many of us are speaking to resist today is that these people who are fighting, doing a lot to take over the mantle of governance, they are not doing it because they care about you. They are doing it because they care about themselves. That is why many of us are angry. This is what we were born into. This is what we are still wallowing in. This is what we don't want to continue with. Many of us, we have things we want to do. We have things we are doing. But this is Edo State, this Edo State where many of us were born, where we grew up, where we have had our life. Some of us, all our lives have been spent in Benin, in Edo State, as it were. It is just the same old story. The same old story. That is why I said earlier, for all Edo people, we should be grateful that somebody is trying to alter this equation, and that is Governor Obaseki. If for nothing at all, that we have somebody who is trying to be a clog in this wheel of wickedness. Because at the end of the day, the entire projection of coming up with Ize-Iyamu is nothing short of trying to take over the revenue of Edo State for personal purposes. Look at the Oshomole, for instance. And I've made this example once and over again. If any of you is privileged to know, to have an idea of what Oshomole's residence costs, you will understand that even if Oshomole had been governor for 20 years, there was no way in this whole wide world his own salary, his own allowances, his own extra, his own whatever put together can actually give him that particular structure. And it begs the question, how come about that structure? Believe you me, that monies that was supposed to have been used to give road to Ewotubu, that money that was supposed to have been used to give road to, to make life easier for our people, it was part of that money that was spent on that particular residence. This is Oshomole. Now, I've concluded finally that Oshomole is shameless, and he thinks that Edos are shameless as well. And that is why, having come out, make far too many public statements about Ize-Iyamu, even swore to the altar of God in some of his allegations against Pastor Sagi Ize-Iyamu. He comes out today to say he lied, and that the person who is a bad person now is Obaseki. My people, we should equally reach our conclusion and not be swayed by that. And that is why my shame is not just for Oshomole, but for all those who see merit in what Oshomole is saying today. I think, to be very honest, in a place where a system works, Oshomole today should be arrested and tried for deceiving Edo State. Because the truth of the matter remains that so many people voted Governor Obaseki in the last election because they heard the voice of Oshomole. If Oshomole is not coming to Edo people to tell Edo people that he made a mistake that time, Oshomole right now should be arrested and tried for betrayal of trust. He should be arrested for failing the oath of governance because he was a governor when he was spreading those lies that he claimed today against Pastor Sagi Ize-Iyamu. I think in a system that works, this man should be arrested and tried for his deception. And this is the more reason why Edo people must flee from Sagi Ize-Iyamu, must flee from APC and flee from Oshomole. Now let's look at Captain Osa. The truth of the matter is that when we talk about Oshomole, we are not going to leave out Captain Osa, because at the end of the day, the entire agenda right now that is being run It's clearly evident that Captain Osa is part of this whole process. Now Captain Osa came up with an open letter to President Buhari, asking the governor to leave him alone with so many allegations. Some people, countless number of persons, proponents of Ize-Iyamu and those goons have been sending me, inboxing me with some of these things and all of that. I just looked and I laughed. Because at the end of the day, some of us have actually, projected into this. Because given the merits of each individual, all of them combined cannot attain half of the integrity of the governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki. All of them combined. So it therefore becomes clear that the only strategy that is open for them in this electoral process is to spread lies, propagate all sorts of deception, sponsor all sorts of wickedness. Now, without mentioning anybody's name, but if you are there and you are able to deceive, you will understand. All confraternity in Edo State had been given 10 million to share. 10 million naira. All confraternity in Edo State. This is a classified information. I am the only person probably, or one of the few persons who will be able to come out on this place to come and mention it. I won't tell you who. But if you put your ears on the ground, you will know. I am giving you a confirmed information. Because at the end of the day, the same people you are gathering to create problem in the electoral process, to make sure that the governor does not win, some of them have already committed their soul and, their soul to the development of Edo State. And so when you come with your advances, monetary advances, they are going to talk to some of us too. They are going to talk to some people in government as well. They are going to talk to some people who are close to Obaseki to reveal what you are doing. And it is part of this revelation that we now understand that so much money has been brought out by money back in quote. I won't mention the name of this person, but it's part of the equation. And giving to confra members, to cultists in Edo State. And the only reason why this is being done is because it's part of the whole plan, that when the election comes, let us create problem at some point. You understand? It's been discussed in their meeting. This is why the Edo electorate must hold their ground. It's been discussed that they are going to create mayhem in the areas where they know that the governor has strength, so that those areas will be disqualified. The result of those areas will be cancelled. And who are they going to use? They are going to use some of these people I've talked about. They are cooking, they are doing all of these things. And this is why, but if you are there, share this broadcast. This is why government must be aware, the security apparatus must be aware of what is happening. The plans going on. Now, I come to one person whom I consider very infinitesimal, but whom shamefully, he's become very big in the whole equation. Just recently, I watched a video where Tony Kabaka was in a gathering with Pastor Osage Ize-Iyamu and all of that. And they were discussing, and Ize-Iyamu was telling them to go and win their constituency. Tony Kabaka was very loud in the process. On a good day, people, on a good day, Edo people, Nigerians, on a good day, let us call it spade a spade. Politics is for the people who actually should play politics. Politics should not be for scavengers. It should not be for certain kind of people. Now you ask yourself, it begs the question, will you time and time again begin to see yourself, see Pastor Osage Ize-Iyamu with some of these kind of characters I've often talked about? And you ask yourself, if Ize-Iyamu become governor of Edo State, what hope would there be for the Edo people? This is a fundamental question. What's his name? Tony Kabaka came out and addressed the media and said he's even tired of Agbewism. He doesn't want to become Agbew anymore. That if Yamu wins, he wants to be compensated with a commissionership position, maybe commissioner of finance or whatever. Tony Kabaka under Yamu is lobbying to become the commissioner of finance in Edo State. Somebody watched this video with me at some point. He laughed and I said, this is not a laughing matter. We have seen things close to this before. It's in that state a governor made somebody who cannot even turn a page and read, made him the chairman of government, protection of government property, set up a committee that even became even more powerful than very many, commissioner position in the state. It was being handled by a tout. In that state, that same Edo State. Just a couple of days back, they started spreading what was it called? Some people in a Wotubu that their roads had not been done by the governor, blah 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 blah, sponsored protests. And you ask yourself, was this road done by Oshomole in 8 years? Was this road done by the predecessors of Oshomole 8 years prior? Or are we expecting that the resources that this governor is working with, the resources will just be enough to award all road contracts in the state? Is that what we are expecting? Let's be realistic. Because when you are bringing out what is it called a Wotubu road, why can't you juxtapose it with the roads that have been done, that are currently being done, and ask yourself a simple truth: is this government really working? Oh, let's talk about the bad roads. Yeah, well, of course we have some of the bad roads. As a matter of fact, I'm one of those who's actually calling on government. Calling on Governor Obaseki, look, even while the political process is ongoing, sir, we are not going to forget governance. The governor must attend to those things that need to be attended to. Ongoing projects must continue. And people appeal to that extent that for market women that have lost their wares because of the arson, because of fire outbreak in the market, like Oba market and all of that, effort should be made by government, to create some level of ameliorations, so that these people can continue with their livelihood. Because at the end of the day, if governance must not be about the people, then you have no reason being there. And I can attest to the fact that the governance of Governor Godwin Obaseki has been more about the people. I have not said the man is a saint, believe me. I don't think he is. Nobody is. You understand what I'm saying now? But I think that what we have seen with Governor Godwin Obaseki is enough for us to give another chance. It's enough for us to hope on. If for nothing, to break away from all these touts. Edo State, before Governor Obaseki, had become a state riddled with touting. Touting had been the order of the day. We have no life in Edo State. We have not had life in Edo State. Because you stroll through Ring Road to New Benin to Agbado. Everywhere you go is being controlled by touts. That is the state where touting is glorified and graduates, professionals are being shown the way of bike riding, are being shown the way of taxi driving, not able to contribute their intellectualism to the development of state. Somebody's made a commissioner, not because he merited it, but because he's a tout who supported the governor in his quest to become governor. I give you one little information. This I'm aware of. I'm close to the information. This governor, his own family member, and Obaseki, came to him with his resume, with his credentials, desirous of an office to be appointed into. This governor told him that the man who is there is more qualified than you, my brother. Please go back home. That is integrity. I am not giving you an information that is from the blues. It is someone I'm aware of. The person in question is even my friend. And the man said, yeah, I know you are my brother, but I did not come here because I want to serve the interest of my brother. I came here because I want to serve the interest of Edo State. The place you are going for, the man who is there right now, based on his resume, he's more qualified than you. That is the man some Edo people want to put under the carpet and bring out somebody whose ambition is to take over governance for the name of governance, not because there's a clear-cut agenda. They come up with a simple agenda that has been alleged to be an idea for another person, even though, well, some of us have doubt if that is true, though. But having said that, I said in my last broadcast, I did say it. He said, the Bible says, tell me your friends, show me your friends, and I'll tell who you are. If people like Tony Kabaka are people who are just talking, on the side corner, some of us will understand. Said, okay, well, they have their enthusiasm to bring, it's a right to their choice. But for Edo State to be a cabinet member of Ize Iyamu's campaign, oh, no. Oh, no, it's been like that. It's been a culture, but there is no space for that anymore. There is none. I want to deviate a little from this and come to our brother Captain Osa, our uncle. Look, Captain Osa is somebody that I've had a very long-standing respect for. It's not because anything Captain Osa has done or is doing has impacted me directly or indirectly in any way. It's because Edo people respect him, as a business mogul, as one of those, okay, who is, actually seen as a figure from Edo State. But if you give a very critical analysis of Captain Osa and all of that, you ask yourself, what I sat down to ask myself is, all of the bad governance we've had in Edo State, Captain Osa had always been friends, with all of them. All the governors we've had, most of them. He has been friends. He's done very well with all of them. But all of these people have provided bad governance for Edo State. And yet, we have Captain Osa, who is their friend, who has not used his good, economic standing to influence government to provide good governance for the people. I mean, let's be very realistic. If you are a philanthropist and your philanthropism is such that end with your circle of friends, people who are more or less like you or those you want to groom to get to a certain stage in life and actually be like you, so few persons like that who benefit because you've helped them to become, a House of Assembly members or, or legislators at the national level or this or that or that. If that is where philanthropism ends, then we need to leave Ogodun Obaseki alone to give Edo State what Edo State desire. I said that I'm going to try to deal with this situation with utmost respect, without casting aspersions on the character of Captain Osa. Of course, when I saw the write-up and the allegations he made against Governor Obaseki, I looked and said, man, look, even though, to be honest, I thought that Captain Osa should have accepted to run for governorship himself instead of all this manafiki kind of, politicking. We have seen businessmen everywhere, all over this world. People who influence political processes and all of that. It's only in Nigeria, in Edo now, that we see them come and directly want to influence the political process because of their economic standing in the state. The truth of the matter is that the letter written by Captain Osa, that letter, as a matter of fact, the governor has written a counter letter to him in a very respectable manner. I read the letter written by the governor to Captain Osa. I was pleased because what I discover is that, like somebody like a Shomole, if you want to play the game like him, he will bring you to his level and beat you with experience. Now, we don't want to do that. When they go low, according to Michelle Obama, we go high. And I think that's what the governor has done. Instead of coming low, degenerating himself, he went high. Treated the matter with a level of respect. Edo people, please, if you are there, share this broadcast, because it is time we call a spade and not just a working implement. The nonsense is too much. We have endured this all our lives. We cannot continue to endure this. The expectation is that Governor Obaseki will win the election. In 4 years, we'll look for another person who will continue with the agenda. And we hope it does not deviate from the agenda. But if it does, the same way we are coming out right now, the same way we came out previously, is the same way we are going to come out against and after him. But right now, giving all benefit of the doubt, and look at those people, I'm going to advise, I'm going to appeal to you to understand this, that we are going to see more fabrications. Everything right now is being sponsored. They've gone to Ewotubu to go and sponsor a protest over one road, over the roads in Ewotubu. They've gone to Ekiadolo to go and sponsor a protest. The truth and the fact of the matter about Ekiadolo is clear. Some of you may not be aware, but the real truth about Ekiadolo issue was a problem started by Oshomole because of his quest to divert attention to Iyamo. One of the problems was that, the NUC told Oshomole, look, we have approved higher institutions in Benin, in Edo State. Approving, what's it called, another university in Iyamo is going to be, it's not really actually something within the confines of what's it called, the laws of the NUC. Now, Oshomole was the one who traded College of Education Ekiadolo for his agenda of having a university at Iyamo. Now, the whole this thing was that to transfer the teachers, in that place to different other, higher institutions in Benin, while Ekiadolo is elevated to a federal, College of Education. It's the same agenda that the teachers who have been there, those who are qualified, they should reapply so that they will be absorbed. Even while that is ongoing, without working, they have been getting salaries. Without working. School activities in Ekiadolo, Federal College of Education Ekiadolo is going to commence by October. Right now, the salaries of, those people right now is going to be taken over by the federal government of Nigeria. This is the truth, which they know. Now, the question is, why did you see them protest 2 months ago, or 3 months ago, or 4 months ago? Because they claim 11 months are here. Why did you see them protest in those times? But they waited because election is coming up right now, so they can easily be instigated, and many people will easily believe because Ekiadolo has not been functional as an institution. But the truth of the matter is that they have not been retrenched. Nobody has been retrenched in Ekiadolo. For those who have made, applications to be absorbed into the federal, education, federal education Ekiadolo and all of that, they are just waiting to start class activities. And some that have maybe, I don't know, whatever allowances, that ought to have been paid, the federal government has taken over to make all those payments. Now, Ekiadolo is not the only civil service institution in Edo State. Are you saying that the government pays those at the Ministry of Health, pays those at the Ministry of Education, pays those at the Ministry of this and that and that and that and that and all others, pay those at Ekpoma, University of Edo University, Ekpoma, pays those and in all other institutions, and deliberately leave Ekiadolo alone? You want to say this government does not pay salaries? This is the only government in Nigeria that has been acclaimed to be up to date in the payment of civil servant salaries. Up to date. The Lagos State Governor, what this government is doing in education. The Lagos State Governor, Sanwo-Olu, came out and applauded the effort of Edo State. And even said Lagos State is copying from Edo State. That's another state. You came out from a Keagolo, one small institution. You were sponsored, covered, because you want to influence the political process. That is wickedness for those of you that have collected a meager 10,000 naira each of you to take part in that process. It's shameful, to be honest. Meager 10,000 is what you collected to come out and begin to make that kind of protest. I would be concerned if workers from Ministry of Health comes out and say they have not been paid salaries. If workers from Ekboma comes out and say they have not been paid salaries. If workers from Ministry of Agri comes out to say they have not been paid salaries. If workers from Justice Ministry comes out to say they have not been paid salaries. All the civil service, workers in Nigeria, I will be concerned and I will ask the governor questions. And ask government questions. Why? But bro, what we have seen time and time again are Edo State workers in their numbers coming out to even pledge what they shouldn't even do as civil servants, to pledge allegiance to the governance of Governor Godwin Obaseki. Why? Because their major interests have been taken care of. What is that their major interest? Salary as and when due. Edo State is one of the few states in Nigeria that have adopted even the new minimum wage scheme. Edo State. While other states are struggling, are still debating how to pay the new minimum wage, Edo State has started paying it without even questions. Without even questions. Just from on Monday, the test run of the Oshiomhole power plant began. You could see celebrations in the air, people. On Monday, areas around Saple Road, all government premises right now, they are witnessing uninterrupted power supply. Because of this government initiative, the alternative to energy in Edo State. And this project is to be replicated at Ikpoba. My people, this government is working. This government is working. Look, I believe that there is space to do a lot more. I believe there's space to do a lot more. This is the reason why we are canvassing. I am personally canvassing, asking Edo people to support Governor Godwin Obaseki. But what this man has started, a proper evaluation of what he has started will actually be done in the next couple of years. They come out, they say, MOU. My people, it is MOU that made Oshiomhole power plant become a reality today. We don't want to truncate any of these processes. MOU has been signed for Gelegele. Gelegele is under serious evaluation right now as we speak. As we speak, in another 4 years, we expect the first phase of Gelegele to be completed. In another 4 years. And that will drive millions of employment to Edo State. Wama even Wayaku. For those who are trying to, to truncate this process, in fact, God will not forgive many of you. Particularly those who don't know, those of you who don't know what you are doing. Those of you who are deliberately, who know the truth, you want to deliberately, sideline the truth for your personal interest. God will not forgive you. For those who are ignorant, I excuse you. Because the truth of the matter is that we must live in an era now where we know the truth and we stand by the truth, irrespective of the enticement. Irrespective. We see some loyalists right now who come out public to say, yes, I've resigned from government, I'm not coming into APC because of 1 million naira. 1 million naira. You come out to fool yourself. Lose your integrity. 1 million naira. We are getting the information. It is clear. They see them. What we need now, which I'm going to do, now to get document of some of these transfers and all of that and present to Edo people, to tell Edo people how weak people are integrity-wise. Somebody came and said, "Man, look, they're going to give me 2,000 euro. I should switch allegiance to what's it called?" Look, I just said, "Man, look, so you just look me like a man of 2,000 euro." I'm not here to sound immodest. My expensive on a monthly basis is already more than 2,000 pounds, not even in euro. On a monthly basis, my monthly expenses. So you not think that you come with 2,000 euro. I will begin to, give some consideration. Woe betide you, human being. Woe betide you. And that is what they are doing. As a matter of fact, as a classified, if you are there, please share these brokers. As a classified information, I want to let those state people know now that they have looked at the ground and they are budgeting 10,000 naira to average of 50,000 Edo people for the election. They are budgeting 10,000 naira to buy the conscience of the people. So be ready, money will be shared. Money will be shared like you have never seen before. Monies are being raised currently. Monies are going to be shared. I am not asking anybody not to take money from these people, because at the end of the day, the monies they are coming to share, they are the same monies that they have stolen from our coffers that they needed to have used to develop our people. So if anybody comes, my advice is take money, but go and vote your conscience. Don't sell your conscience for 10,000 naira. But when you do and you give the mantle to them, you find out that you have actually sold your conscience for less than 20 naira a day for the next 4 years. What is that going to do to you? What does that do to you? That somebody's giving 20 naira a day. What does that do to you? So look, people of Edo State, personally, I don't have any stake in this government. I'm not looking to be given any appointment by this government. I'm not looking for anything in this government. But what I am looking for is to be hopeful continuously that we have somebody in charge of Edo State that will continue to provide the defense of a democracy for Edo State that the people continue to benefit from. That when some of us come to our state, we should be proud. I remember back then in Uniben, one girl who came from, I think she came from Ibadan, so I don't know, let me know, I can't remember precisely, as a student. She came as a Jambite, and we met, and she told me like that she's very surprised. I said, why? He said, because the history she has read about Edo, about Benin, is so rich that when she came, she was like, what she's seeing does not reflect what she has had in mind that Edo would look like. I had no answers to her. This many years ago. Many years ago, back then in Uniben. I had no answers. Because what the girl pictured as she was reading the history of Edo was such that she was going to meet, an Eldorado of a place. But she came and she was like, you don't understand. Why is Edo? This is the Edo they talked about, the most talked about Edo. Bro, my people, it is time for us to take our place of pride in the scheme of things. And this man of Obaseki is showing good signs that we are ready for that business. Look at the state secretariat that had been abandoned for years. That even offices of civil service were being carried and taken to wherever. All civil service, structures have been moved back now to that secretariat because the place is now what is supposed to be. There had been money devoted to fix that place over the years. But governments have come and gone, and yet they did nothing about that secretariat. Look at that place. It's a beauty to behold. Apart from the structure, the workings right now in civil service is such that you love. I told you people, a friend of mine went to just ordinary affidavit that you come to secretariat before for a supply road. Ordinary affidavit. At some point, you're not going to even know where your paper pass. You will give 100 naira here, 200, 300 here. The one person who's going to type it is a different person. You're going to pay. Another person will take. You will be there. Until later, you will bring yourself that we don't do, and you pay for it. But all you have to do now, you want to throw an affidavit, just go there, go and pay your 15 naira or whatever the charge is at the revenue office in the bank. Bring your teller. You won't find any queue. Nobody's ready to take bribe because there is no room for bribery anymore. That is what our state needs to look like. And this man is giving us the lead. So what reason really do we have as a people to say we cannot support Governor Godwin Obaseki? Look, Edo people, we must take a decision as individuals to say that we are not credulous, to say we are not gullible people, because what they are doing is to play on the gullibility of our people, to play on the credulity of our people. And that is a personal decision. I have decided, the Benin man says, somebody must live for something. Anybody who has not found that purpose, this is a purpose I live for, that person has not started living. In this election, in this process, we must discover our purpose. And the major purpose we can discover with ourselves is the purpose of integrity. Integrity. We cannot see blue and call it black. We cannot see white and call it green. If you are out there, you are singing the praise of Oshomole, you need to get your head re-examined. Because these are the same characters that have not just destroyed the developmental structures of Edo State, but they have contributed to making Nigeria a laughing stock today, in global things. If you are following international news, just recently, UK is picking up issues of spying, you understand what I'm saying now, of infiltrations with, what's it called, with the Russian state. The UK is doing that. I ask myself, what, political, what political decision do we take as a nation to say, it will be in the news to say, Nigerian government has said this. I remember in those days, this same Nigeria broke diplomatic relations with Israel many years ago because they came to test one of their weapons in the Sahara Desert. And then, it was clear that Africa was the centerpiece of Nigeria's foreign policy. And we were squaring up with other nations of the world. This is what civilized nations are doing right now. They take decisions. They say, China, we are tired of your meddling. Today, the UK, they have stopped the extradition treaty they've had with China because of what China is doing in Hong Kong. Foreign policy strengthens a nation. People stand for something at that level. Nigeria is nowhere to be found. We have a president that the former Prime Minister of UK, in a leaked state, said Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. And they asked the Nigeria president, how do you see this statement? He said, yeah, he said the man is right. Nobody does that. Nobody. Every nation stands for something. Every nation. Every nation. UAE just launched, what's it called, a rocket into space, into Mars. A huge project. UAE, when did they come up? When? Because they are standing for something. Pyongyang, what's that, North Korea? They are testing their might. They are standing for something. What is Nigeria standing for? And I tell you, my people, we are not just looking at Buhari. The same kind of people like Oshomole, they are all part of making Nigeria the way it is. Now, this starts Not just at that national level. It starts from the kind of grassroots political development we are having. The kind of political culture we are having at the very grassroots. If you bastardize it at the very grassroots, there will be no integrity, and all we are living for is from hand to mouth. I like your team, I like my team. Shamelessly. It is time as Nigerians we begin to stand up for something. Today, Africa is in a state of topsy-turvy. Libya is in disarray. And many Nigerians are suffering the consequences of Libya because Nigeria could not stand up for Africa. When these people came, they came to kill Gaddafi, to create anarchy in Libya. We couldn't stand. We couldn't stand. We couldn't galvanize Africa to stand for Libya, to say, no, if there are issues with Africa, it should be dealt with by Africans. Not by France interference, not by America's interference. We couldn't stand. Today, you see videos of many Nigerians crossing through Libya and they are being enslaved. Many Edo people are suffering in Libya today because Nigeria could not stand to defend Libya when it was most necessary to do so. There was no foreign policy agenda. We have become a state that is follow. COVID-19 has come. Selfishness is breaking our neck as a nation. We are collecting grants here and there, collecting 1 billion donations from individuals that are rich. We are not accounting for this money. It's not being used for COVID. Look at the disgrace that followed NDDC at the public hearing. That it is more alleged that those who are trying, the members of the NDDC, many of them are the biggest benefactors of the NDDC contracts that are not done. Money's wasting away that needed to have been used to develop our country. And they vex because this nonsense is done too much. We have Nigerians and those people in droves living in different countries of the world, trying to make ends meet, struggling, contributing to the economies of other nations of this world. Because white man, America has become Igiogbe to many Edo people. UK has become Igiogbe to many Edo people because Edo man says, "Can no marry or Igiogbe because we're a white man." Why is Owa not good? Because of people like Oshomole. People like Oshomole who use their privileged positions to subjugate the collective interest of everybody. And yet, we are like a people who do not know the time. The Bible says, it said, the children of Issachar, they knew the time and they knew what Israel ought to do. Do we know the time? Do we know what we ought to do now? Edo people, I tell you, what we ought to do is to stand against these maroons, is to stand against these tyrants, is to stand against this wickedness, and stand with Obaseki. Stand with Obaseki. That is what we ought to do. Whether it benefits us individually or it doesn't, let us do it, not for ourselves, but let's do it for our state, because we don't have any other. We can't have any other. Even if I hold the citizenship of Spain, or I hold the citizenship of UK, or of America, or whatever, I am an Edoma by birth and by inclination. A change. A change. Hold whatever citizen you want to hold all over the world. It doesn't matter. You are still an Edoma if you are an Edoma. And therefore beholds on you as a responsibility of the highest order to defend the interest and the purpose of the Edo nation. All these riffraffs, these people who are beasts of no gender, with all due respect, we cannot allow them to infiltrate our minds and begin to play this kind of wicked polity, all to further subjugate us. But at the end of the day, the more than 200 billion they have budgeted to spend in this election, if they don't spend them and you make them win, you can't tell us where you think they want to get the money from. Some of them are clever. Somebody called me the other day and was crying and said, man, and as you try to talk to my people, the people in government, they talk to Obaseki that Obaseki is not spending money. He has to spend money to do this, to do that, blah, 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 blah. This one, he sends people to go and do this and do that. This one, the money should be given. It's not thank you, or blah, 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 blah. I didn't know what to tell this person. Because my people, to be very honest, I just looked, I shake my head. Because at the end of the day, there are people right now who are clamoring for Obaseki. They are doing it because they are expecting something. A genuine purpose is a purpose where you do selfless, not because you are expecting anything. I spend money. I spend time. I have vowed that I am going to win my constituency for the governor. My own polling unit in Benin, in a local government, I am going to win it for the governor. Whatever it takes. I am following up on that process. I'm not asking anybody for money. I'm engaging my people. I'm engaging the people in my political unit, in my unit. I'm engaging them seriously. And we are together. We know the purpose, we know the vision, we know the dream. I am doing it not for anything. It is very likely that probably before I retire and say I want to start living in Nigeria, it's going to take so many years. So that I probably don't have, may not even be in this Nigeria for so many years to come. So I'm not living in Nigeria. But this is my home. But I hope to retire and come back to this home at some point. And this home, if this home becomes the way I actually wish it would be, I won't even wait till my retirement to come home. Look, I have not said Obaseki is a messiah. Of course it's not. Nobody is. But he has started something that will guarantee a good future for us as a people. Let us live for something for once. Let us test ourselves with good integrity for once. For once. And let's say, man, look, I decide to be honest to this purpose, to this cause. Let me see the dividends of it in under 4 to 8 years. You will see that that decision, your decision, my decision, that man's decision, that woman's decision, collectively will change the landscape and make it do a better place. I am not interested, but I'm afraid. I am afraid, I am scared. I am scared because the people I see standing with Izeyamu, they are people who are ready to see everybody die because they want to get 1 million from Oba Market, or they want to get 2 million from Ekusa. They are people without integrity. They are touts. And I tell you that the policies and programs of the governor of Edo State is even the one that is going to reform some of these touts and give them, you know, some level of leverage, bring them back to the mainstream of society to understand that, okay, things have to be taken okade, not hoping that what's his name, Tony Kabaka will become the leader again of Oba Market, or become the leader again of this and of that, to be collecting revenue for government, so that government can be getting their kickbacks and all of that, and people at the expense of our collective interest. That is what is actually making me go mad. I have seen places where people fight, people do a lot of things to take over control of governance. They are not doing it because of their selfish interest. Everybody's coming up with an agenda. Ordinary speak, you see the political debate is interesting. Sometimes you don't even know who to go after. You don't even know who to support. Because it's based on issues. The government in power will say, okay, I'm going to increase salary if I win the next election by, 0.1%. The other will come and say, I will increase the salary by 0.2%. Issues. You come to the UK. This one will say, look, if I win, I'm going to make sure UK is out of European Union. Brexit. The other will say, no, I will make sure I get a deal before we come out. Issues. and people are going to vote in line with their interest in the matter. And when they win, it is what they vote in line, what their campaign promises were, that they start fulfilling. We have Brexit today that's going to take place in the UK. By December, UK is going to be out of the European Union. But Brexit actually started because David Cameron campaigned that if he wins, he's going to give the United Kingdom the power to vote and decide whether they want to stay in EU or they don't want to stay in EU anymore. And when he won, he fulfilled that promise. A majority of them voted and said, they want to be out of the EU. That is why we have Brexit. It was a political process that led to Brexit. A campaign promise that led to Brexit. The present Prime Minister of Spain campaigned and said if he wins, he's going to raise the minimum wage. And he won. The minimum wage had been raised. Issues. They don't sponsor crisis to affect opposition. They don't. As a matter of fact, when there's crisis, they all join together to deal with the crisis. And because these countries are campaigning on issues, the electorates are very rich-minded. The electorate are dependent on the campaign promises, and they are holding every elected officer to their campaign promises. Have we ever had that done in Edo State or in Nigeria? The campaign process has never been about the issues. You will not hear Isaiah Yamu come out and say, now, okay, look, if I win, we will, increase the allowance of civil servants, or we'll do this or we'll do that. Let it be on issues. But you want to hear them talk about the riot in, the protest in Wotubu. You want to hear them talk about the sponsor protest in Keadolo, because that is what, because they believe that we as electorate, that is what we are inclined to responding to. We are not going to hold them accountable, hold them to ransom, to say, man, look, you said you were going to build this road, you have not built it. What we are talking about right now, there was a campaign promise by Oshiomhole that he was going to fix that road. Did he do it? Did he do it? And yet he's not being reminded of that today. This is the same Oshiomhole who spent 3 billion giving a facelift to Central Hospital. Called the president of Nigeria to come and, to launch the hospital with all equipment intact. But little do they know that immediately after the president had commissioned the place and left, all the equipment were taken away because they were hired equipment. They were not bought. They were hired. Is that not the height of insolence and of wickedness? The height of spiting the people? Or someone as a governor, I'm telling you, this is what he did. That was the crisis that lingered. When Obaseki came on board and read the books, I said, man, those agreements have been taken out. And the man said, no. That's why the man delayed in responding to activities in that hospital. Because the monies budgeted and spent in that place was too much. And I tell you, my people, if Obaseki wins, Oshiomhole is going to jail. So, if Oshiomhole is doing what he's doing right now, understand why. He's going to jail because of the way he has defrauded Edo State. There's no way, because the matter is already there in court. When I don't tell me, no, you go, Igevo. Nigeria is the only place that, you go scot-free. All of these people right now, some of them say that the reason why they are against the governors that were nobody's really saying that this man has embezzled any money. That Oma satisfy a money voting, a money support the food soldiers, or Oma contract in Mawana, they give them contract, they give them. That is why they are against the governor. This is a governor that came to discover that all these food soldiers, they come and do that. They expect you to begin to give them the state contract. Now they get this contract, they don't do the job. And you can't hold them accountable for it. And this man decided to deviate from that way. Look at NDDC. A contract awarded for billions to supply chairs. They bought some plastic chairs. And actually, when they traced those chairs, they traced it to the garage or whatever, the warehouse of the same man who gave her the contract. NDDC. We will find time to talk about NDDC, my people. That is the true reflection of the kind of polity we operate in Nigeria. A country where, it may be Higboli there, if some of you are following, you would have known a lot of that is happening. This is a country where they will just tell you when you wake up in the morning and say, man, a sheep is missing, a whole sheep. Now your transporter oil, crude oil is missing. Oh, are we? A sheep, not a fowl, not a goat, not a sheep. Oh, it go missing in Nigeria. It happened in my country in Nigeria. You can't even talk about it because it's so shameful. Yeah, a whole sheep. Yeah, $12 billion unaccounted for NNPC till tomorrow. We have not heard anything. We are still waiting under the same government. Under the same government. Some part of the money was met by this government in the reserve. Now the money is missing. We are still waiting. Integrity government, Nigeria, we are still waiting. NDDC, anti-corruption agency, EFCC, the chairman, look at, they already do their manafiki to make sure that they close everything so that nobody hears anything anymore about the case in Nigeria. What we are saying is that some of us may not be able to directly influence the process, the rot, the wickedness in the latter Nigerian society, but already now we have a direct stake in it. We have a direct stake in it. And that is why it's a serious matter that we must all not take for granted. My people, today I am vexed. I'm really vexed. I am vexed at the level of credulity. I am vexed at the way and manner in which we are so carried away. Who is so much for crying out loud to still be one of those that will be making effort to affect the balance of things? I said it time and time again. Oshomole should be arrested, tried, and put away for some time to come. Because this man has done too much harm to Edo State and Nigeria. Too much. For Isaiah Yamu, it's very clear. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. The friends of Isaiah Yamu, they are people who are very self-centered, retrogressives when it comes to the overall interest of Edo people, and so therefore we must look at Isaiah Yamu and look at all these people and really make a judgment to say, man, look, is this the road we want to follow? Let it not be a case of going after 100 naira bread only to mortgage our collective future. We cannot afford to do that. We can't afford to do it. Now, for my people who appear to be on the fence, why worry? Officially, the campaign of Governor Godwin Obaseki will officially flag off on Saturday. Don't worry. All of these skirmishes of things you are seeing, Sonia. The campaign will flag off. They will not know how the matter will go. For you, I know that there are so many people who call me, so many people who write me, so many people, who ask questions and all of that. I try to respond to them as much as possible. I'm not contesting any election. You understand what I'm saying now? But I'm in my own right to assess the situation and be able to tell what is going to be good for Edo State. And I think, and I know that by antecedent, that Governor Godwin Obaseki is going to be the best option for Edo State right now. I appeal to you. I'm appealing not because of anything. I'm appealing because if you are one who loves Edo State, if you are somebody who believes that there should be change in Edo State, then you must join me in this campaign. It is not enough for us to commit ourselves to voting for Governor Obaseki. It's even more than that. We need to take the campaign beyond our individualistic concern and take it to everybody. Let us make up our minds for Obaseki. Let us be there to knock on doors. Let us be there to speak to the hearts and minds of the people. Whichever medium want to do that. We have people who are bloggers. We have those who are social commentators. We have those who are analysts. Please, let's take the message beyond. But importantly, no aspect of this process should be taken with levity. There is no room for complacency. As a matter of fact, we cannot afford to be complacent, because at the end of the day, when you want to die with the devil, as they say, you have to die with a long spoon. Some of us already know. We are getting feelers. Am I swearing? Am I swearing? They have already disbursed 10 million to confraternity, court boys. 10 million. And if you belong to any confra in Nigeria, in Edo State, and you are not aware, please take it from me. Play my video. Ask your leaders questions. Share the money. But be convinced to vote for the governor of Edo State. He's a man who's going to deliver for Edo State. Support the governor. Not because of 10 million is going, after having shared 10 million, is going to, change the course of your life as a people. But let it be that you live in a state where there's a level of harmony, where development is reaching the benefits of everybody. Let us push for that, my people. Let's push for that. That is going to, serve us better. It's going to serve us better. A couple of months ago, that's okay. It's been some months right now. To be honest, around January this year, the program started from November last year to this year, and I've been looking to find Edo people in this program. I've not seen, and I'm asking myself, where are the Edos? In a place where I work sometimes, I found out that there were so many Nigerian nurses that have been, for one program or the other, they are now in the UK. Okay, while they are doing their masters. Okay, they are equally working as well and all of that. Okay, so I met with very many of them. I'm the president of my of my community, Nigerian community here. So I met with so many of them. And I found Yorubas to be like almost 80% of them. There are people from the different other places and all of that. I didn't find Edo people inside. The pace we are in Nigeria now is a matter of to your tent to Israel. Many states are projecting their own people, training their own youth, doing a lot for their own youth and all of that. Now I made inquiry into Edo State government. I said, man, look, this is what I noticed. This means some months ago. This is what I noticed. There's a program like this and like this, and I was informed that this government has already committed a lot to that project, to send many nurses out of Edo State to go and train them in the UK and bring them back to come and serve the interests of Edo State. And I looked and I said, God, thank you. Thank you for this. This is a government that is thinking ahead for its people. They are even encouraging many health professionals right now to come from Edo State. The government is trying to do a lot to ensure that people are no longer looking for means and ways to travel through Libya, to travel through, the desert, so that they go abroad, to create platforms. Look at Benin Technical College. It's coming alive now, with the best of professionals to handle our children. Train them in school, give them vocational training. And they want to start that same project, across the 3 geopolitical zones. we cannot truncate this process, man. We cannot. We have had, we have had series of governments that have come that don't see beyond their nose. Series of them. This government is not just looking at the physical structures you can see with your eye, but they are looking at the social structures, the moral structures of Edo State people. We cannot sweep this government under carpet. We cannot allow anybody to misrepresent this government by coming up with publications of unfound stories, by sponsoring protests here and there, and all of that, and we are falling into this trap. Edo State is definitely not perfect. There are so many things to be done. The government has done so many roads. There are so many yet undone. So people in Ewotubu, you wait. The government has a program for Ewotubu. That one will be made and will be made. Don't let anybody use you against the government of Edo State, the governor of Edo State, because the project is in the plan of government to fix it. You wait when it is time to be done. Government does not have money to award all road contracts at a go. Look at Ekosodin. Ekosodin road had never been visited by any government in Edo State. But today that road is under construction even as we speak. They are putting finishing touches to that road right now. So many others in Yoni. As a matter of fact, you people are just the one making me talk about this. I'm not even one person who wants to judge any governance, any government by way of where or Sukbo or by way of roads and all those. No, I think there is more to the nitty-gritty than just road construction, which I've seen this government is doing. Edo people, I came out with some vehemence today, and I want to appeal, to the heart and mind. Please, if you are there, my people, please just spread this broadcast and all of that. The legions of Pastor Sagi Yamu, of course, I see them, I know them. There are many where they are increasing because right now they are buying more. But we have become a people who just think about our stomach alone. It doesn't matter. Just like that human being came and said, collect 2,000 euro and begin to speak against Obaseki. I said, God forbid bad thing. There should be some level of integrity. I am not looking at that. I mean, I'm not a man who just think of my stomach alone. I think that any man that has not been able to, live beyond their individualistic concern, they have not started living. I think that was a proclamation made by Abraham Lincoln, if I'm not mistaken. You understand? They have not started living. We need to choose a reason to live. We need to choose a reason to live on every subject. A policy reason, not a selfish one. We must look at where we are not the only ones this is affecting. It's affecting everybody. Women, series of governors, they've always been doing very well. Who will be talking about road right now in Edo State? Or do you think that from the time of Lucky Gnedion through Oshomole, you go to know like those it's not enough to build all the roads in Edo State? Do you think so? Of course, it's enough to do that. But right now that this government should be encouraged to be on, for crying out loud. People should come out, even if you don't say anything, praise the governor, encourage him, like I do. I encourage the government to try. In fact, Governor Baseki, don't be moved by any of this. The Egyptians you see now, my brother, by September you will see them no more. You will see them no more. Edo people, please, you are there, share this broadcast, my brothers, if you are there. Share it, let everybody see it. Edo people, if you are standing with a Baseki, stand firm. I tell you, the Egyptians you see now, by September, you shall see them no more after the election. What you are going to be seeing when Governor Obaseki has been elected is that all the people you are seeing now, all these political rats, you start seeing them to say they are decamping from APC to BTPDP. Anyway, here they are near, because it is the shameless society, the shameless political culture that we have been handed. Shameless. I see some of them came out the other day. Just this yesterday here. Yes, I have resigned from the government of Obaseki. This is for what? For just 1 million this thing. There are your mates that have been given the same 1 million that refuse to move because they want to stand on integrity. Look at Ohombamu, former commissioner, a man I thought I used to respect. Look at shameful, former commissioner of information. People like that, people, no. Edo people, wala. Today, the people you are going to see, you are going to hear their voice, you are going to be doing this and doing that, that they are infiltrating, they are the politicians. I am not speaking to the politicians. I am speaking to you and I. Those of us who suffer the brunt of their policies, who suffer the brunt of, the brunt of not just their policies, but the way they carry out their policies. Those of us at the cocoa below level, if they don't build the roads, now we, the sufferer, now our cars now go quick spoil. If they don't put the the street lights, now we, now you're not going to see the criminals when they had under pillar, under bushes and all those things. They are attackers. Now we, they bomb markets. Now we, the sufferer. Now we, so I'm actually speaking to we because Obaseki does not have the kind of structure Yamu is having. He does not have the kind of structure the Oshomoles are bound for themselves. And those they are not genuine structures. The kind of structure Obaseki have, they are structures that have been born out of conviction by people like you and me. Those of us at the very low ebb. Now we are the ones to determine the process. They will come and entice you with money. I'm not asking you not to take, my brother. He or her, collect it. But go out there and put your finger for Obaseki and stay around to protect the results. Hold your smartphones on the day of election. Well, we will be talking about those ones later. Make sure as they read the result, they count it, they read it, record it, because at the end of the day, just like they are used to doing, they go to INEC office, change the result. Obaseki is going to have a situation room. All results from all polling units, they will be transmitted by video. Meanwhile, do you read here? We will see. We will see. You have made one of the biggest governor criminals in Nigeria, made it head of the campaign committee, Ganduje, Grandu dollar, Grandu thief, to come to it. Make we know then you should come. We're not the campaign. Let him come. We are waiting. We are waiting. They have combined all the formidable criminals in the system and made them into campaign this thing. And the people are beating their chest, the apologists. Yes, this, that. To fiakwa. Esono. Awawa. Esono. I'm not interested in anything. The project for Obaseki in Edo State must come to fruition. And all of us are part of the agenda to make it come to fruition. All of us are part of the agenda to make sure that it's a project that is fulfilled. And if fulfill it, it becomes our responsibility to hold Governor Obaseki by the waist and say, look, bro, we have done it. You must not deliver the dividends of democracy to Edo people. And I want Madola the next stage. Because a promise that Obaseki make, we are going to hold Obaseki accountable to these promises. All of them. All of them. But we are confident that if he continues in this trajectory, these are clear indices of development that we are seeing. Indices of transformation. Mama Yemi boy for a long time. The only people that we can give credit to that have done well in governance in the history of Edo State, Ogbemudi Abali. Iyanike. I like your thing, I like my thing. They have not. Because if they had been doing what they needed to have done to provide good governance for the people, today, what to be people will not be coming out to say they are protesting. Had long. This is, my people, I will tell you this story. This one happened in Uselu. I'm giving you facts. Facts. Under Shomole Yasuno. Facts of figures. This one happened in Solo, somewhere very close to me in the local government. There was a street. The people gathered. You know, they took trips of red sand because the road was so bad. So they took some trips. Now, what they needed a grader to come level, the sand, on the road so that it become passable and all of that. So they made application to the local government council and all of that. There was no response. The man, the audio way of that street happens to be the father of my very good friend. If I mention his name, some of you will know him. He's a popular guy. You understand me, Nania? Now, they started going to the local government and all of that. On a certain day, the man took his son, some other elders in the street, and they went to the local government and said, look, man, we have been applying for a grader to come and grade our road. We have done well to donate money and put sand on this road. And the supervisory secretary, in that place, in that office at that time, brought out the file of the road, and he said, I don't understand. What is it? He said because the record in this file shows that the road had been tarred with street light and had been commissioned. That is Nigeria. That people use their money to buy red sand, and we're not asking government to bring graders so that it can level the sand. Now this same road, is on record in the council that a contract had been awarded for the road to be tarred. The road had been given street lights and a drainage system and all of that, and had been commissioned. And the audio winner asked him, I don't understand. Is this my street? Yes, on record. Igoni, they collected the money. They didn't do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just diverted that. And there was no inquiry into that particular matter. That is in Nigeria we live. Do we even know if under Shomole, this Ewotubu road that is in question right now had been given out and nothing was done? Do we know? Because series and series of things like that. NDCC panel is revealing that now. That there are so many things, so many contracts not done. They don't even go to site at all. They just take the money about transfer here and there, and that's it. Shall we continue to live in sin that grace will abide? God forbid. That is what has characterized us as a people. That is what has characterized us as a people. And some of us are only coming out now to say no, 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 no. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Look at the friends of Isaiah Yamu. You cannot assess who Isaiah Yamu will be if he's governor. Look at them. Just look at them. Just look at them. Look at the array of friends he's got. Those projecting for governor. And the truth is that many of us, many people who on social media who are carrying placards right now, some of you don't even know where you are standing. You can't tell or were the children of Issachar, or when they knew the time and they knew what Israel ought to do. Do you know the time? Do you know what you ought to do? To make a Edo State progress is a task that must be done. Nobody. I'm a Roman. A red do or now. And nobody will be allowed to truncate the process. Nobody. Or when my book be or some of us by the grace of God we will stand to the end for this struggle. We will stand. And I implore you to stand firm. Because right now, it is not just a matter of Kambiakwa business. It is a matter that touches the very heart and soul of our land. All of the people you have seen, they have not been there. They have not been there. They have not. None of them. All they have always fought for is their political interest, is their own what they want to eat, their own self-interest. Nothing more than that. So they come with the gallivant, they drive their big cars on bad roads and all of that. And you say, are you hailing them? No, it is time to take over and begin to empower ourselves as a people. Even though, like I said, I don't see Obaseki is not the Messiah. Okay, and all of that. But there are so many messiahs. Obaseki right now is laying a footstool for us to continue. And I believe you me. If we give our support to Obaseki, all we can only be sure of is that at the end of the 4th year, this man would have landed Edo State on a place that we can be proud of. A place that we can conveniently choose another good leader to continue from. Maybe from Isha land. A good leader who believes in the vision. Because government is a continuum. In another arena, they will push all these things aside. They will start a whole set of different new things that will be very detrimental to our collective progress. We don't want that. We don't want that. Wallahu, Edo people. Whether you are Ishan, you are Afema. In fact, for Ishan people, how well do we let not your own become like the proverbial case of the Igbo man in Nigeria. Let it not be like that. I can tell you, Ishan people, that Oshomole, just like the Southern of Sokoto had things against Igbos many years ago, the same way Oshomole has a lot against the Ishan people. I'm telling you, if Oshomole was sincere, why did Oshomole not bring out an Ishan man to become the running mate of Izeyamu? Well, he brought out his village man. So Izeyamu, if Izeyamu become governor, easily the matter goes to his village man. And that is what he did with Obaseki. But Obaseki understands that after these 4 years, Shuaibu understands that after these 4 years, they are running now. The matter is going to go to the Ishan man. And when it's a cool case, it's an arrangement under even the PDP structure. The Edo North people, they have done their own. Somebody has taken that. The Edo South, we are the ones doing our own now. After now, it is only proper to look for an Ishan person, understand me, to take over the mantle of leadership. But an Ishan man who has integrity, who is willing to continue, the good governance of Governor Obaseki, and take over and continue. But if you give Oshomole a chance, after Izeyamu in 8 years, believe me, it's another Oshomole's son or brother or sister or uncle or whatever that will take over from Izeyamu. We are not willing to allow that. Ishans should not be willing to allow that. Edos should not be willing to allow that. We cannot have that kind of wicked hegemony. Our war. So Ishans, wherever you are, I am speaking to your heart right now. If you are an Ishan man and you are clamoring for Izeyamu, in fact, you don't know what the time is and you don't know what to do. And I'm telling you right now that the right thing for you to do is to make sure that you convert Ishan votes and give it to Governor Obaseki, so that in due course, in the next 4 years, let us have an Ishan man. Ishans cannot be treated in Benin as the Nigerian people are treating the Igbo people. They come out in the north and say Igbos cannot rule Nigeria. They will never rule Nigeria. And everybody is just like, okay, Eriono. God forbid. We don't want that for the Ishan people. Let us have some level of equilibrium. Let us have some level of balance. It is not being made for one person or for some people. You understand what I'm saying now? As they have good people in Edo land, the same way they have in Edo North, the same way they have in Ishan land. As they have bad people here, the same way they have there, the same way they have there. So let all the good people from Edo South, from Edo North, those who believe in equity, those who believe in balance, those who believe in the need for us to live harmoniously, all of us combine efforts and support Governor Obaseki to become governor. When this happens, believe me, what that would have done is that would have effectively wrested the political career of so many of these wicked people and giving rise to the birth of a new crop of political class. A political class that we understand that we are serving not just for the sake of service, but for the glory of service. And some of us, we are willing, we are standing, we will remain firm to stand by those who are serving and who are willing to serve for the glory of service. And all of those right now, we're all swimming in something that looks like the same kind of water. No. As the time goes on, the seed will be separated from the shaft. So choose a side right now. Choose a side right now and belong to that side. As for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. As for me and my household, we have chosen to walk with Obaseki and project him. Choose a side. Don't be on the fence. For those on the fence, the Lord, according to the book of Revelations, or if you are neither here nor there, God will pull you out of his mouth. Choose a side. Choose a side. Choose a side because it is necessary to protect the interest of the land you come from. And the man right now at that head is the governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki. My people, we have so much to talk about going forward. The election is in September. The last thing I want to make point I want to talk about is place. I'll say this in every broadcast. I'll tell you with a story. I called one of my constituents some couple of weeks back, if I'm not mistaken. And he said, comrade, don't worry. You know, he spoke Benin. Don't worry. Obaseki has already won. Even though I don't come out to vote. Please, if you are there, bro, sisters, share this broadcast. We want it to go round. He said, even though I don't come out to vote, Obaseki has won. And I said, Epa, no. Even though I don't come out to vote, must not be there because that is complacence. You understand what I'm saying? That we cannot afford to be complacent in this matter. No room for complacency. You are voting, you are voting. If you are strong enough, you stand by to protect your vote. If you're not strong enough, then go home and relax and wait for the results to reach you. Nobody should say, even if I don't come out to vote. Because if you say it in Ego, somebody may say it in Welu, somebody may say it in Oredo. At the end of the day, you have multitude of people who don't come out to vote. So we're not encouraging that at all. Even though you have fever, manage. Don't put it there and go home and rest. Because it was the same concept that made Hillary Clinton lose American presidency. Because so many people were winning them. No need. Now, it is war. It is war. We must fight this war. We must fight this war to defend our territory. Our territory is Edo State. Our weapon is our conviction, our belief, our voice, our effort, our monies, our time. Those are our weapons. And we must deploy these weapons effectively to ensure that. Don't be deceived. They will come out with a lot of deceptive stories. Just wait. Every now and then, they will come out. They will sponsor protests. They will sponsor this. Don't be moved. Don't be moved. I appeal to you. Don't be moved. Don't be convinced. Don't be moved. They will even come and entice you with money. And I encourage you, take the money, but stand where you are. It is the money they have stolen from our people. So therefore, we are not going to ask anybody to reject money. Collect the money, put it in your pocket. But do what you need to do. I appeal, because we must change the narrative. We must change the narrative. The narrative we've had and we used to, the status quo is too bad, it's too porous. If we give Godwin Obaseki the chance, the Tony Kabakas, the No Moles, the Agberos, the tyrants, we would have effectively retired them from the political process. And would have given chance to so many others who have not been there to become part of the process. And when they are coming in, they are not coming under a corrupt administration. They are coming under a due process administration. They are coming under a process that is setting things right with orderliness. And when that becomes the inheritance of Edo State, believe me, in another 20 years, you will beat your chest and say, yes, I am Ovie Duk Bataki. I am from Edo State. In pride and grace. But the job has to be done now. This is what we believe. This is what we are fighting for. Because at the end of the day, what are we living for? If we cannot leave a proper legacy for our land, if we cannot fight to defend our land, the struggle is a struggle to defend, our collective patrimony. This is important. After election, I've said it before, we are not stopping. We are going to continue to hold Obaseki accountable and responsible for governance in Edo State. So it is not like we want to deliver Obaseki and after delivering Obaseki, then we rest. No. We will deliver Obaseki. We will remind him. We hold it accountable. You now have to provide proper dividends of democracy to the people. Call me. I will respond to you. And I will make my voice will not go rest. Because at the end of the day, I have chosen a path. And that part is that we have to do the best that we can. Don't say we maybe women we're here where everybody's got something to do. We've got to do our bit to make sure that our state is leading by example. And I tell you, if Edo State is formidable today, if those state changes for the better today, believe me, it will not take long for Delta to follow suit. It will not take long for Ondo to follow. It will not take long for Kogi to follow. And before you know what is happening, the infectiousness of good governance will become what will characterize Nigeria in just 30 years. And then, our children, all of us at old age, will be proud of what we are doing at our young age now. My brothers, my sisters, particularly young men and women, let's don't waste our young age licking sweets and collecting 5,000, 10,000 in the electoral process. We cannot waste it because we need to be able to look back and be proud of what we have done. Today, Anthony Nahoro is in the annals of our history because of what he did as a young man. What are you doing as a young person today? Are you collecting 5,000 to 2,000, 3,000 to say it is the wrong person to lead? No. God forbid. We cannot continue in sin that grace may abound. Please, if you are there, share this broadcast. We want you to go around because the reason why we are saying share, the more people that have chance to see or hear us talk, the more people who will have the capacity to look at the ground and of course be able to make an informed decision. That's why I keep saying, share the broadcast, because the essence is to reach out to so many people. Honestly, where I do what I do. Some people may not be able to do, may not be inclined to do what I'm doing. But what I do has the capacity and the propensity to be able to sway somebody who hitherto may have been on the fence and all of that. And that is what we are doing, giving the conviction that this man, Obaseki, we are glad that God brought him into this equation to offset the balance of wickedness and create an alternative for our people. And that alternative is a promising alternative. We are not there, but we are going to get there. Martin Luther King, well, I have seen the promised land, even though I don't get to the promised land. Of course, as a people, we shall surely get to the promised land. And that is what this is about. That is what we are standing for. That is what we are fighting for. My people, I've said much. I'm tired, I'm hungry. I will end this broadcast now, but I will end this on this note, and that as a people of integrity, as a people who are identified by the culture and by the values of the Edo land, we have a right to assess ourselves and stand for something that we believe in strongly. And if we believe that Edo State must advance, the option for that advancement, for the foundation of that advancement, is Governor Godwin Obaseki. And I have presented Godwin Obaseki to you as a man, as a choice that is standing alone without any competition. Let us support this choice for the collective interest and development of Edo State, so that our tomorrow will be a better and a guaranteed tomorrow. May God bless you all. May God bless Edo State. And may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm signing off. My name is Comrade Ikmonwosu Alante Oriahi. It has not changed. If it does, I'll let you know. Stay blessed. I'll see you again. The show must go on.
Now, when you don't hear what our brother talk for this video, let us know what you think. Concerning Oshomole, Tony Kabaka, Captain Osa, and Obaseki, the Edo State governor. Go to comment section, make you put am for there. What do you think? And this video, before you go, make you help us share am. Because this kind of information wey dey this video so, everything wey our brother don talk so, e no good make e just dey one place. E good make e reach everybody hand. Make everybody for think concerning this matter. Make dem forget their say concerning this matter. Because this Edo State election wey dey come so, September 19, na wetin everybody need to get the information wey they need in case they wan vote, make them for know the kind of person wey they go vote for power. Because this na the time wey the ordinary common people take get power to make their decision. Na be this. Once this time they don't miss am, vote for the wrong person. Now be say e go take another 4 years again, 4 good years for this kind opportunity to come again. And you know say 4 years, no be today, no be tomorrow, e far. So this video now, with the information where our brother don bring come for this video, share this video to friends and family. And anybody where this video reach in hand, if na abroad you dey, give the information to your people back home. If na Nigeria you dey, you receive this video and you listen to this our brother, think wetin this our brother don talk for this video. Make you for know the kind person wey you go like make you vote. Make you no go vote the wrong person. So make I leave you now with this video. Abeg, make you share am. Thank you for watching Dan ARG YouTube.